game.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Noon hour has hit. Hump day. Half of it gone. The next half of your work week still in front of you. Welcome in XL Primetime Golf Club of Southampton. Wednesday, fired up and ready to go. The skies have cleared just a bit. I think we should be good for a little 9 after 5 tonight. I always say the golf gods love the 9 after 5. Let's hope that they are listening right now. So we got plenty to get into. I told the fellows on Jaguars today that there's so many good college football games that will play a hand in telling stories about conference races, about who's who when it comes to the college football playoff. So we are definitely going to dig into all of that. And then, of course, some Jaguar talk. We will roll out we've got a wealth of coaching knowledge on XL Primetime. I think we would all agree with that. We had head coach Dave Campo for many, many years, and now we've had Mark Duffner come in, Gerald Ingram come in, and now we are going to rotate those two cats weekly on the show, but then also begin a podcast, Both Sides of the Ball, with linebackers coach Mark Duffner.
We're overflowing.
And running backs coach Gerald Ingram, which is going to be great.
With football IQ. Overflowing.
Yeah, they got it, man.
That's an Oklahoma drill just waiting to happen, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Linebacker, running back, Oklahoma
Can you
drill.
imagine?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that would be awesome. You may have to pose that question to him, Leon, a little bit later on. Okay, so it's midweek. All right, so the Jags are going to be back on the practice field today. They come out of the day off. This is a full work week. It's all about, hey, you got to 1-0. Now you got to get to the next. Big ball game. This is a nice little litmus test when you think about it, as far as what this team's going to look like going on the road and facing what most people view as a good football team.
Believe it or not, Joe, when you're on the road, you got to ramp up the intensity even more.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because you're not only you're dealing with the fact that they're comfortable at home, you're dealing with the crowd noise, and I look at it like a heavyweight fight. You got to take their jabs,
right?
But you got to swing back too, and then in the fourth quarter, you want to be still in the game to the point where you can make something happen, especially on the road. You got to make it a fourth quarter game. You can't get blown out early. If you make it a fourth quarter game and you play the way that you played this past Sunday, you give yourself a shot to win.
And I feel like more than anything else, everyone is looking for something that tells you the change is real, that what has happened here has been profound in terms of getting rid of what was in the building, and particularly Trent Baalke, the guy shopping for the groceries, and then the guy and his staff coaching him up, and Doug Peterson. If they follow success here at home with another good performance on the road, that'll be a key indicator that all of Duval needs.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that the Panthers are a bad team. I think we can all see that.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to be a different test. This will be a check your manhood game. But I will say this: they could lose, 24-14. I wouldn't get scared. I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be like, oh, here we go again. I just from what has happened on and off the field over the last 8 months, I think it's starting to become very clear that these guys know what they're doing, and I may regret that, Joe. When they're like 2-7, I may regret that. But
no, we're not going there.
I know we're not going down the road. But it just looks like these guys know what they're doing. And I think that more than anything is a huge leg up as far as where you're headed in the future, what it could be in the future. Yeah. So I wouldn't panic if they lose to the Bengals. I wouldn't panic if it looks rough at times against the Bengals. This is a long stretch, and I feel like these guys know what they're doing, and I think that's the key.
Well, I look at it like this, Matt. The Bengals are Tier 2 elite as far as the NFL goes.
Yeah, I would say that.
Tier 2 elite,
I would
right?
agree with that, yeah.
So if you come out with a win on the road against the Bengals, you're sending a message. I mean, you're sending it may not be as profound as like beating the Chiefs or beating the Bills, but the Bengals just a tier down from there. If you can go in their house and win that game and start out 2-0 and give yourself a game advantage in the division, although small and marginal, I sense little shockwaves a little bit.
Oh, you better believe
it. A little bit.
And the other thing is,
a pebble in the water.
Yes. All I pointed out during the offseason, whenever we were talking about is it going to turn a major corner, is that the direction of the football team has changed dramatically in terms of you now have an infusion of excitement with a first-year head coach, a brand-new GM, Tony Vaselli back in the building now as an executive as opposed to a Hall of Fame player, and you have all that enthusiasm. But we would always maintain, I need to see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like. Still a pair of brand-new coordinators, brand-new head coach, and also trying to fix some of the other things that weren't going right here, like Trevor turning over the ball, that type of stuff. He looked pretty dang good the other day, still threw a pick, but it was also looking like it was going to be a big-time play to Travis Hunter. And so those types of things are positives. Now, add up two other things on the Cincinnati side. Somebody put it on X. The last time Joe Burrow started out 1-0, they went to the Super Bowl. Okay?
All right.
So that is obviously when you look at it, that's what they do, okay? But they also have started off terribly. 0-2 start last year. You go down the line with a handful of other ones. And then I hear the boys on the drill this morning, and they said that, and I have to go back and look at this, but listen, I trust Dan and Jeff. They're fact finders, okay? And Joey Burrow's never won week 2. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Never won week 2. And so it's an opportunity if you can get up there and get after them defensively, which is what Cleveland did. This team needs to match that type of effort. Can Josh Hines-Allen be Myles Garrett?
It's going to have to be.
He's going to have to be.
I'm going to answer that for you.
Yeah.
No, he can't.
He's going to have to be this team's version of that. He's right now not playing near that level.
no, but-
Myles
No,
Garrett's
Joe. No,
special.
Joe. He's getting pressures.
Yeah.
He's getting
He
pressures.
is. Listen, I don't mind that. As long as you do something to affect, as you say, Matt, affect the quarterback.
But at some point,
and that does
you gotta
count.
get home. Some
Yes,
point,
you
you got to get home.
Yeah, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But listen, the Cleveland Browns' Achilles heel is their offensive line, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly.
Cincinnati, you mean?
Cincinnati, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Cincinnati. You got to expose that.
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't have at least 3 sacks, I'm going to be upset.
Bro, they had a backup tackle, left tackle, against the Panthers and didn't. Really
I know. Disappointed. Very. But Precious.
Yeah. They did get home. No, they got to Bryce. Let's just make sure.
Yeah, they did.
Let's be factual here. We're fact checkers too on XL Primetime.
Yeah.
But
Smoot got to him.
yeah, that's what needs to happen. And so did Jordan Lewis. That was another brilliant move by Campanile when he calls that blitz off the edge. And Jordan Lewis busted up what could have been a potential drive that would have stayed alive and they could have gotten on the board. Bottom line is those types of plays need to happen on the defensive side of the ball.
What's better than Smoot making a play out there, by the way? The guy that's not really a typical edge guy, not big enough to play inside, yet the guy just makes plays.
You see it more off the edge than you see him anywhere
He's Charlie
else.
Hustle, bro. That's why I love him so
God,
much.
love when he makes plays.
Effort.
I call him a lunch pail guy because he flat comes to work.
All the time, bro.
And he's overcome one of the most significant injuries you can in terms of getting that explosiveness off the edge. An Achilles rupture is hellish for these guys, and he was able to come back from that. So
He's also one of those guys that I think really enjoys the cat on the helmet.
oh yeah,
Like he enjoys playing here and playing for the city and playing for these people.
and this was his second go around, and to be able to get in the backfield and knock down the quarterback, take down the quarterback, it was pretty special for him. All right, so you guys start thinking about that. We got a boatload of college football games that we will throw out there as well. Big Sirs has got a question as far as how important is it to get off to a good start in the National Football League. We will do that coming up. Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Call 287-PLAY. We should have a little bit of a cooler night tonight. Looks like the rain will be gone. We had it the first couple of days of the week, and we should be good to go. You can enjoy a 9-hole game, skins game, food afterwards, prizes. Would love to see you. You can come out and talk a little Jaguar 1-0 start. Do it at the Golf Club of Southampton.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford. He flies under the radar.
You don't find this guy, he finds you.
Stealthy Hayes Carlyle
Best thing I can do is point you in the direction of his competition.
takes you behind enemy lines. Activated by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Cancer Center offers on-site imaging and other diagnostic services. Early detection saves lives. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long, laughter that lingers, and moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sunny's here.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Frank Frangie telling you about Awaken 180. You know, my daughter has done so well. I'm so proud of Amber. Can you believe she's lost 50 pounds in 2 months? And she's really proud of that. You can as well. Call 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Jacksonville, Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee. Man, it's incredible. Just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. I was so impressed. It's about connecting with nature, with food, with community. And now you can own your very own handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm. Everything you need is there. You'll hardly need to go grocery shopping. Learn more about all of it at okefarm.com. That's OKEfarm.com, the farm at Okefenokee.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Bari here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Bari Orthopedics today or visit bariorthopedics.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC.
Here's what 1-0 will do for you. Foye Oluokun, Player of the Week, the National Football League. That is worth a round of applause. Jaguars captain, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, 10 tackles, the pass breakup, forced fumble, and an interception. That's nice work.
That's putting in work there, bro.
And you like to see a healthy Foye Oluokun flying around doing his thing, especially when a defensive coordinator can arm him with that type of ability to go and do.
Yeah, that's inspired football. You do all that. But listen, we already know he was a tackling machine already. Mm-hmm. But then pass breakup and interception.
That's one more than last year, by the way.
Yeah. Well, his totals were what last year?
No, one more Player of the Week than last year.
Yeah.
One more Defensive Player of the Week than last year.
Well, also the turnovers, man. They are right now 1/3 of the way to where they were a year ago.
Think about that.
That's awful.
Say that again real quick so everyone in this city can hear this again.
1/3 of the way. They're 1/4 of the way to their win total, and they're 1/3 of the way to the total turnovers they had this season.
Bro, we're on pace for 50.
Yeah. That's just nuts that they were able to do that. And so
had 3 in one game and had 9.
He forced the fumble. Eric Murray jumped on it. You had Lewis with a pick, and you had I'm drawing a blank on the other pick. Anyway, those types of plays were being made, and the interception from Foye. Yeah, excuse me.
Right.
Only on pace for 51, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's right. 51.
17 times 3, right?
Yeah. Compared to 9.
Imagine like how
Do 17 times whatever to get to 9.
Imagine how disinterested that defense was.
Yeah.
At what point do you think? Like midway through the season, early in the season, like they just didn't care, man.
Well, and they weren't. I don't believe they were ever put in a position technically to make good decisions on the football field and make sound plays. And because the instruction, the coaching, the demand of it was, none of it was there. And now I hope it continues. You see guys that say, hey, we're going to empower you with playmaking ability. We're going to turn you loose when we think we can, and we're going to make sure that you know your assignment and you can go do it.
Well, Joe, it's also believability. I mean, and what the coach is putting together, what he's saying, and then going out and execute it. I mean, you're a salesman as a coordinator. You're selling that my techniques, my fundamentals, schematically, is going to put you in place to make plays. And when you go out there and make plays, now in the meeting room, you know, your antennas, your ears, you listen. Last year, with all the stuff that was going on, man, they drowned him out a long time ago.
Yeah, it's also the motivation, too.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, players got to want. They've got to want it. How many times do you say it, Leon? It's want and will.
It is.
Football.
Yeah, want
you got to
and will.
want it, man. And it looked like those guys, they were just going through the motions last year.
All right, so who wanted it more when it came to the run game on Sunday? Well, Travis Etienne made the most of his opportunities, got a $143 on the ground. Meanwhile, Tank Bigsby didn't do nearly as much as maybe people thought, including I was forecasting a lot of good things for Travis Etienne. When most people try to ship him out, I'm thinking this offense suits him. But I also didn't think Tank was going to be the one that was going to get run out of town. Bottom line is he was traded. Liam Cohen on that subject about moving number 4 out of town.
No, it really just came down to, after some time of evaluating and just working through some things, just felt like, especially, post Sunday, it was just probably best to move on, to just give him an opportunity to go. And both the same with us. We feel good about, where we're at moving forward. I wish him nothing but the best. And, he's a good dude and just worked out that way. So really feel confident, obviously, with some of the way that those other guys stepped in, did some good things. It's hard to rotate forward, and wish them nothing but the best.
And that's why I maintain they haven't lost much in that room. They gained draft capital, and the room hasn't changed that much at all. We'll see how it goes down, how it shakes out.
I wonder where it turned, though, because, a couple of weeks ago, he was telling us he was going to be okay with 4 running backs, dressing for the game. And now there's 3. I'm not speculating anything. I'm just saying that he was real comfortable with that when he ended his presser when he was told us that he was going to go for a running back.
Well, this could be the long game, as they describe it, where you're trying to make sure a guy makes a roster, and then you create value there. Like instead of having to get rid of one of them, and they weren't going to get rid of one of their draft picks, so they had to keep all 4 and then say, hey, we got value here, come and get it, and that way they could get something for a guy who made the 53.
They also don't want any bulky guys in there anymore, man. Get them out of here.
That's how they're looking at it.
I think they knew it was Etienne a couple weeks ago, before the season even began a couple weeks ago. And then, it's like you said, you're trying to create the idea that he's competing with Etienne for the starting job, and that somebody will give you something for him.
Right. Remember the long game? That's also the or. The or
That's
on
what
the
I'm
depth
saying.
chart.
Yes.
It's either him or him.
Yes. And what was the other or that we kept seeing?
Yeah. Now,
Ventrell Miller
it's either
and,
here
and
or
Devin
he's
Lloyd.
there. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm implying is this: as a ball player, and you always feel that if you're in the game that you can make a difference. And what I'm saying, as far as the Tank goes, he could have been a little upset about his touches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure he was.
Very much so.
And, he could have said something, and if you ain't going to use me, move me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't have any problem with that Because if he got three carries, bro.
You're riding the hot hand at that point, though, bro.
Yeah,
I understand that. But you're young, you're vibrant, and you're healthy, and you're not playing.
Right, and the last thing this team needs at this point is somebody saying,
"No, I'm not saying
where are my carries."
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying. I don't want to say he's a bad teammate.
No, I don't either. But I'm saying the last thing they need is like any kind of turmoil.
Yeah.
And as a player, don't you have to look out for yourself as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, right, Leon?
Yeah, so you got a short window.
Yeah.
You're young.
You're a running back,
especially that position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind them doing it either.
No,
All I'm saying is, from the team standpoint, is all right, then you're gone because there's no.
Yeah.
You cannot
We don't need
have
that
on your team right now.
I
But what's
totally
also still crazy is that Howie found room for him, and they already have 3 in their stable.
Well, I think what's the kid from Clemson? He got hurt.
Yeah, Will Shipley. Yeah. And so that that definitely had something to do with it. But they had A.J. Dillon behind him, and they still went and got somebody else.
Over under for like his amount of carries in his first game with the Eagles. Like first, not this weekend, but when he's ready,
same number,
acclimated with the team,
same number as he had here.
Yeah,
3.5.
4, yeah.
Yes,
I would say
wow.
like 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's still going to operate and run through Saquon, and they used 3 guys the other.
And a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. He's another runner.
Also, wait till he fumbles.
Yeah, he's another runner.
Too.
Yeah.
Sure, the Eagles fans will take that in stride, and they'll be nice about it.
Yeah, you fumble there, you get booed by the home team.
Yes.
And so we'll see where it goes. But if nothing else, it just feels like this room hasn't changed hardly at all, and we'll see where it goes.
You know what I saw this morning that I was so proud of when I saw ATN, second leader rusher in the NFL behind Derrick Henry.
Who's number 1?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was impressive, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
Derrick
I don't
Henry's
even want to
got
say
one
it's
more fumble
short-lived.
than Etienne.
I don't even want to say it's short-lived, but it was good when I saw Derrick Henry and I saw Travis Etienne right behind.
Yeah.
I know it's week 1.
Yeah, but take it.
I'm on the deep end.
Get a hold of it.
Yes.
I don't have any problem with that. With that happiness.
Exactly.
Bring it.
ETN, and he kind of went through training camp trying to condition his body to where he knew he was going to have to do more, give more, be more for this football team to be successful. And talk about taking advantage of the opportunity. Like you said, ride the hot hand, and he was the one that took full advantage of an actual lineup front blocking. Let's make this the 10-10 take. Not to bring it down too much, but I just want to point this one thing out.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
So Sonny's, they can deliver it to you every single time. You're looking for a good meal. You want options, delicious ribs, pork, chicken, turkey, brisket, whatever it might be. And all those sides. Just drop on by. You want it served fast and fresh and hot. You're going to get it all at Sonny's. So while it was great what they did against the Carolina Panthers, and I will take it all day, getting out to a 1-0 start, still an NFL team. They still get paid. They're NFL players, as Leon always likes to say. But I was blown away by this stat. That is the 7th straight game the Carolina Panthers have surrendered over 200 yards rushing. 7th straight game dating back to last year. So
I didn't know that.
They give it up, okay? They give it up. And you...
All right, that might be a problem.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to point it out, and because I'm Mr. Positive. I'm gonna stay on the Augie Optimist train.
Well, you
How
just
does
threw
that happen in the NFL?
You just threw a giant wet blanket on the city right there.
I'm just pointing it out, and that. So what I want to see is what this team run game wise can do against the Cincinnati Bengals. Ride this wave, man. Don't look at that and go, we were successful because they get gashed all the time. Yeah. We were successful because we're going to be better at this running the football. That's the 10-10 take. That's what I'm going to have my eye on.
Yeah. Well, listen, my history of playing away games is that if you can establish the run game first and foremost, you got a shot.
Yeah.
Because you're still in possessions away. You're moving the clock. You're methodically moving down the field.
And you'll take the crowd out,
and you'll take the crowd out the noise, especially if you run. Yeah, if you run the ball effectively, the crowd gets they get a little quiet.
Yeah, and so when you look at the guys, and there's a couple grown men on that defensive side of the ball. Obviously, they got Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart now on both sides that you have to account for. I got to show you this one play of Shamar Stewart just ragdolling an offensive lineman. And if he gets going, he's a big man. And then they got a couple of sturdy, as you call them, furniture movers inside. So we'll see how they handle that. All right, college football. You guys, we need to do a little bit of this in this noon hour because we're going to be visited by Mark Duffner, one of our coaches, at the top of the 1 o'clock hour. We're going to be spending a bunch of time breaking this game down. He was on the Cincinnati side a season ago. But I got to get to a couple of things. And there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than the enemy giving you a vote of confidence. And Brian Kelly, coach of the LSU Tigers, you would have to consider an enemy of the Florida Gators. Any team he faces inside the Southeastern Conference, they're against him, correct?
Big rival, too.
Yet Brian Kelly spent a minute or more of his own good time on Billy Napier, just about how excited he was to see Billy Napier coaching on the opposite side of the sidelines. Here's a vote of confidence for the Florida Gator head coach from one Brian Kelly.
Really good football coach. You know, he knows his team. He knows what their strengths and weaknesses are. You can see it on film. He's building a culture that is fit to his eye in terms of what he wants to do. He's doing it his way. And that's awesome. I think that, you know, look, I came in here, right, and Ed was here. And he won a national championship, right? But he did it his way. Right? It was his way, and that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way they wanted to make a change. I do it my way. It takes time to put in your philosophy and the way you like to do things. You know, I do them a lot different than Ed does. But he still won, right? They asked for a change. I came. It takes time to make that change. And it's the same thing with Billy. Billy's come in after 2 or 3 other head coaches that changed the way the other coaches did it. And now he's starting to stabilize that program. So people talk about whatever they want. It's crazy. It takes you what it takes. And he'll get that thing where he wants it. I think he's got it right now. They beat us last year. So, again, we need to worry about us, and that's what we do. I worry about what we do on a day-to-day basis and make sure we're prepared to be our best on Saturday.
Well, let me just say this. On that same SEC, it's not, I mean, at that point, it's seriously.
He turned into Simon Cowell and Randy Jackson. He's doing it his own way. This was American Idol.
On that same SEC conference call, okay? Billy Napier said, everything that's been built here didn't all of a sudden just disappear. There has been a ton of investment put into our people, into our organization, and those things still exist. When adversity hits, you need to elevate. You're the adversity, Billy. It's like this friend I had who was bald, and he had this toupee. And all of a sudden, he thought he looked so good that he wouldn't date a bald woman. So we had to look at him and say, you're bald.
Yeah. I'm not against the bald look, but the toupee wasn't bad, okay? The toupee was not bad. But listen, when the chairman of the board
is the adversity.
When the chairman of the board is singing that song, he did it his way, okay? It was at the end of his career, okay? It was after he had arrived. It was after he proved to everybody he could take that orchestra and become the chairman of the board. Billy doing it his way is a dismal fail.
His way is 20-20.
Listen to these numbers, okay? And this again is the other side.
He's lost 20 games, and he's 2 games into his 4th season. 20.
He's 20-20. Here are the records, and this has been pointed out by the enemy again on the other side. Billy Napier is 20-20 at Florida. Records of the previous Florida coaches after 40 games. Urban Meyer was 31-9. Will Muschamp was 24-16. Even Sharknado, after 40 games, was 22-12. Fired before game 40. He didn't make it that far.
He also won the SEC East twice.
Mullen, he won the SEC East. Don't say that. Make sure you get that correct as well.
I said SEC East twice.
He just and then got a 50 burger put on him when he went.
Right,
to
he still won
Alabama.
the East.
But Dan Mullen was 31-9.
Dan Mullen sucks.
With 3 New Year's 6 bowl games in his pocket.
If Dan Mullen sucks, then what does Billy?
The bowl games that Billy has in his pocket, the one against Oregon State when he had to score a field goal late to keep their NCAA record streak of scoring points in a game alive, and then beating a Tulane team without their best quarterback, Menzu, who had left for Duke already.
20-20 versus the last head coach, which was 31-9.
Now, what do you think his lowest moment was? Was it USF or was it Vandy or?
It was Saturday.
Okay.
It was, you can't lose
so this is
at
as low
home.
as it's been. Not Miami last year.
But you were favored by the amount that the team only needed to score to beat you.
Yeah.
Okay. You were an 18-point fave. They scored 18 and beat you. Okay. And you can look at the scoring by quarter and just how pathetic it was. That was the low point. You can't lose to a crooked compass. Okay. You cannot lose to a crooked compass. And that's what Billy Napier did the other day. You can't do it.
I think you got to go back to Billy Vanilli.
Yeah.
That's better.
Listen,
So you guys don't have any hope that they'll win on Saturday?
None.
Wow.
Listen, this is where I'm at. Big Vic and I just looked at each other. Normally, my neighbor, diehard LSU fan, he's a Cajun through and through. We look at each other. Normally, we come up with a bet early in the week. I'm like, hey, buddy, how's it going?
Yeah, don't even try me.
Yeah, that was a good win the other night.
I think they'll fight hard.
Nothing.
Yeah,
But I think in the second half, something will happen. They'll unravel.
Okay. I like that Coach O got a shout out, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Coach O's the
Brian
best.
Kelly.
I'm not going to have that Rafa Salafusa who never got past number one.
I mean, how does he not get this shout out? He won the Natty.
Yeah, that's true.
He goes, Ed did it his way.
Coach will be on tomorrow, by the
And
way.
then they wanted to make a change.
Yeah,
That's right.
Like Leon said, we do have Coach O on tomorrow afternoon.
Right about this time tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. I love it. All right, let's keep it going. Oh, man. It's XL Primetime. Gator fans chime in. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. How you feel about a 20-20 at the 40-game mark. It is XL Primetime.
XL Primetime, driven by Big Number 1 Duval Ford, the number one place to buy your next vehicle.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the first coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts at the Jaguars Call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
Pickett here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra at Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
Jacksonville was built on specialists. Now the Special Teams Player of the Week, sealed by Superior Plumbing and Pipeline.
Cam Little was huge on Sunday for the good guys. The 22-year-old was perfect on both his field goals as well as his extra point attempts, with his longest field goal being from 47 yards out. Little showed why he was the big cat on campus, and he's your Superior Plumbing and Pipelining Special Teams Player of the Game.
Football season is back, baby. Hicken here, and I know I'm excited to get back to watching some ball over the weekend. But with the fun comes responsibility. Taking care of your skin while outside, extremely important. We know it feels like 100 out there, and that sun is blazing. Make sure you bring the screen while loading up all that tailgate. It's simple. Protect your skin. It's the Sunshine State. To help you protect your skin, Beaches Dermatology is here. I've been going to them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business. Window World, simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
Quality work is sometimes hard to come by these days, and if you want quality in a fence that'll last, make the call to Duval. Duval Fence, that is, a good Jacksonville company with good Jacksonville people committed to quality service. If you need a fence for your home or a business, anything, just call Duval Fence at 260-4747. Give them an idea of what you're looking for, and they'll take care of the rest. Property fence, privacy fence, pool or pets. Make sure you call Duval Fence today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. We know what cool sounds like. XL Primetime. But what does it feel like? Find out at FloridaHomeAC.com. 1010XL.
Hanging out on a Wednesday, Golf Club of Southampton bringing you today's show. You can check it out. Get on the course. 287 play. Call them up for a little 9 after 5 tee time tonight. We're knee deep in football. You get to talk about a 1-0 Jaguar team. You can talk about the Gators going down to the Crooked Compass. Anything you want, you can do it out at the Golf Club of Southampton tonight. 287 play. You got a 9-hole game, skins game inside of that. Food and prizes afterwards. Definitely would love to see you. All right, now let's hear from you. On the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, we've been talking a bunch about your Jags trying to go to 2-0, the Gators trying to bounce back after a loss to USF. They've got LSU, Baton Rouge. Okay, that is one tough nut to crack. And Brian Kelly already said it earlier in the week. We need to go back to being Death Valley. I was laughing when I'm looking at some of the posts on X, and not only is Brian Kelly trying to give Billy Napier that huge vote of confidence, when you have cousin Shane and some of those guys chiming in as well to love on Billy, you know it's over. Okay, it's kind of like Steve Spurrier saying, keep Ray Goof on at the University of Georgia. I mean, Ray Goff, you know, that type of stuff. That's the worst possible thing you can get as an endorsement from the enemy. So here's cousin Shane. I completely understand how upset folks are about Billy Napier down at the University of Florida. However, that being said, it's important that we trust the process. This was always a 5-year project, not 4. We must be patient. And that's it, man. And it's endless as far as what we got. All right, 641-1010. Afternoon, boys. One of our texters. He's coming in from Bristow, Oklahoma. Love it. Been a fan of Billy since he's arrived. Great recruiter, but poor game day coach. Never been in the camp of firing him, but UF is not in the place where you settle for mediocrity. Should be competing for SEC titles and natties, not losing to bottom feeder schools such as USF.
Damn.
And look, you can't say it any better than that.
Disrespect by USF.
Because honestly, if we talk about blue bloods, and we can argue all day long who should be up there, who shouldn't, and all that kind of stuff, but you know who teams are that are best equipped to compete. And the University of Florida is one of them. They have a passionate fan base. They've got an unbelievable environment. They've got people who write checks. They sign the bottom of them instead of the back of them. They've got a bunch of people that want to see winners, okay? And when you put this out, it's 100% unacceptable. And we're talking about anybody, Captain Ron, any of my buddies that are in the stands that either are season ticket holders or just go over there every week and scalp a ticket. It don't matter. You've got to get to a point where the product is back. There was a 2-10 team in the state of Florida last year, Leon. That was pretty bad. They bounced back nicely. Is there another 2-10 team that could happen this year?
For Florida?
Is there another 2-10 team that could happen this year?
I don't know, bro.
It's not impossible.
No, it's not
Everyone
impossible.
says that he may rise up and pick off somebody, but it's also possible.
Yeah, it is possible.
That he
But y'all should never ever be in a position where a South Florida team comes in the swamp and beats y'all. That should never happen. Never. And never happen. Now, would we say we have the same outrage if y'all had won 2018? No?
Disgust.
Not at all.
Yeah, disgust,
Yeah, exactly.
but not outrage.
I mean,
Look at Clemson. Like, basically, Florida played the same game as Clemson did, but there's a much different feeling because Clemson actually came back and won that game.
Yeah, 'cause they were
Florida
down.
didn't. It's a huge difference.
Right, they were down.
This isn't the NFL.
16-0, I believe.
Yeah.
It was 16-3.5, yeah.
Losses still mean stuff in college football.
Yeah.
Whether the playoff committee wants to,
No, it matters.
accept that or not.
Yeah, the selection committee may not consider it, but yeah, it will add up against you. That's for sure. Feel free to chime in, Matt, whenever you want to jump in on this one.
But I mean, I'm just so like the quote of everything that's been built here from Billy Napier.
We have
everything that's been built. Play it
Got
real
it?
quick.
Okay, yeah.
Building for this season. I think specifically here, everything that's been built here didn't all of a sudden just disappear, okay? We didn't perform to the best of our ability. Ball didn't bounce our way on a few things. But there's been a ton of investment put into the people on our team within the organization. And those things still exist.
All right, you got
The ball didn't bounce our way a couple times against USF.
Insinuating that they were unlucky.
Here's another thing. Everything that's been built here. Florida's 20-20 under Napier. They're 10-14 in the SEC under Napier. They're 13-19 versus Power 4 teams under Napier.
Yeah, those are damning.
All that's been built here.
Right. And you can say everything you want, but if you don't have the results, no one cares. And you have to beat and compete. In every ball game, every big ball game that you're in, you may not beat all of them, but you better compete with all of them.
I mean, I got news for Florida fans right now. You're Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's what you are right now.
Well, the only thing
you are Kentucky.
The only thing I am somewhat encouraged by is that when the change is made, they will not have to reach out to Lexington and Big Bourbon Nation to go get Mark Stoops to replace him. 13-year head coach there, okay? And he is right now 19-21 in his last 40 games. 19-21. So Mark Stoops is dipped
Not
to the
that
Billy
much.
Nokia
Yeah,
level.
right, by one.
That's awful.
By one.
Yeah.
By one.
You get my point.
Yes.
You get my point.
I'm just a little exclamation point there for everyone listening.
Yeah.
By one game.
That's it. Yeah.
Florida is Kentucky right now, okay? And the worst part is for Florida fans, you have what should be or could be the most talented player to ever play that position in Florida. And that's saying a lot, all right? And you're going to lose at least 2 years because of this guy.
Yeah. And it's fair to say that both of these schools play basically the same schedule, right?
No, Florida's schedule is a little harder than Kentucky's, but still.
But I'm just saying,
it doesn't matter.
Since you're in the SEC, basically the same. You play a rival in your state, whatever.
You play an in-state rival.
Yeah. But
Kentucky kind of plays 3 cupcakes. But, I mean, Florida played a cupcake last week and it lost.
Right, but you get my point is that Kentucky should be around 500. Florida should not be around 500.
Right, Kentucky's a basketball school. Florida's one of the biggest properties in all of college football.
One thing real quick, I know we have to break, but you brought up Lagway right there at the end, Matt. Yeah. Do you think that because everyone's like, well, they kept Billy because he brought Lagway here. Do you think Lagway stays if Billy gets fired?
It's a great question. I think it would probably it's going to be determined by who's hired.
He's up for bid.
He's going to be up for bid. There's no doubt about that. But I also think it's like
we've been doing well at Miami, DJ.
Yeah.
If it's something like if they get Kiffin, I think that might be a reason for him to stay. I don't know. I mean, to Joe's point, that's really what it is.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you guys chime in 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosure.
XL Primetime from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios. Go! For high school football play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
The Bulldogs look for a big bounce-back game against the undefeated Crusaders. Bulls Bishop Kenny, Friday at 7 on 1010XL. Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
For the greenest, lushest lawn on the block,
Choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 10th, 2006, Peyton and Eli became the first brothers to face each other as starting quarterbacks in a game. The Colts won in the first ever Manning Bowl.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I've been telling you about my daughter's journey with Awaken 180 as she tries to lose a little weight. In fact, last week you heard from Amber herself. Well, let me give you an update. She's been in it just a little over 2 months. Amber has lost 51 pounds. That's a real number. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it happen. She has lost 51 pounds. And here's why. Awaken 180 is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change that is sustainable, and she has figured that out. She loves the journey. She loves the new recipes. She loves that she fits into her old clothes and she sleeps better and has more energy, and it is really, really working. She's proud, and man, am I proud of her. If you want to start your transformation, you can do the same thing. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. My daughter's lost 50 pounds, and she's so excited about it. You can as well. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Cool air and clean air. Getting out from under that Florida sun and cooling off inside is where Florida Home AC shines. Think about it. You spend a lot of time indoors, and air quality is crucial to your health and comfort. Pollutants like dust, pollen, germs, and allergens can build up, affecting your well-being. Florida Home is dedicated to enhancing your indoor experience with superior air quality solutions like whole home air purification systems. Find out by logging on to FloridaHomeAC.com or call 877-4300.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my successful back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about HardballCreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Oh, that soothing music should just relax you, Gator fans, just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Just sit back and take a little comfort in a cold one, okay? Let's go from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Oh! With a delicious cerveza, a Mexican lager imported by surfers, found in Baja for those who live life. Anchors up. Oh, what to do with Billy? What to do with Billy? We don't know the answer to that yet. As a matter of fact, Coach Mark Duffner has just arrived at the studio. He's put out an APB. He's calling us Coach Killers, okay? All points bulletin on XL Primetime. But I need from you guys, the last time the University of Florida lost to an in-state team at home, not named Miami or Florida State. Who was it and when? The last time Florida lost to an in-state team in the swamp, not named Miami or Florida State?
I mean, it's UCF in the bowl. Oh, in the swamp.
In the swamp, man.
I saw it this weekend, and we're going back a ways.
That's why. Listen, I wait for the fog to clear.
It can't be like
because I forgot it.
Yeah.
And if it was against the Big Three, obviously we know it was
right.
The Canes in the swamp, 41-17.
Not named Miami or
I'm just
Florida
saying.
That wasn't the only time
Just
they
wanted
won
to
the
remind
Gainesville
him.
one. Believe me.
2003, I was also at that game. Smacked him.
It's got to be fam.
Fam.
Say it again.
It's got to be fam, like back in the day.
70s?
It's pre-1970.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got to be fam.
Because, look, even with 0-10-1, I don't think they let anybody walk into the swamp from inside the state of Florida, not named Miami or Florida State, and beat them.
I'm going to say fam. I don't know what year, but I'm going to say fam.
All right, so you got that one. Who are you going with, Big?
I'm going to have to ride with fam, too. I can't think.
Who else could it
Can't
be?
be.
UCF was Florida Technical College. They
not
weren't
Rollins College beat y'all or something
It could be.
like that.
It could be University of Tampa. It could be that.
Oh, interesting.
So funny. All right, I'm just going to give you the answer, but I'll just give both of you guys. Leon got closer quicker, okay? But both of you guys started going in the direction. It was 1937.
Oh, wow.
1937.
Valencia beat y'all.
And it was the Hatters of Stetson.
Yes!
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
How about that?
That's pathetic.
I remember that game.
Yeah, exactly. If you wonder where this program is at right now, that's your answer.
Imagine talk radio back then when Stetson went in there and won.
Oh, they were
Are you
so
kidding me?
fired up.
They must have crushed whoever that coach was. The coach back then.
Oh, my gosh. They were trying to get rid of him.
Who was the coach back
They
then?
were definitely trying to get rid of him. They were talking about the
Curly
buyout
Ward or
and
something
all
like
that.
I was close with Rollins College, wasn't I? A little bit.
Yeah, Rollins and then the Tampa call.
Okay.
But Stetson, the Mad Hatters down there.
That might have been
Stetson.
UNF.
It's so bad because, all right, so another guy.
Wait, what year was that?
1937.
37.
And another guy put out a list of the actual games and the scores of the games. And he was all fired up about it as well. Because when you think about it, 18 points beat you at home. And that's stuff that you just don't imagine happening. And you can remember, if you're a Florida fan, you can remember some of the games that just you're like, how the hell did this happen? But if you go back, they barely beat South Florida in September of 22. They beat them 31-28. They lost to Oregon State. What was it, 30-3? You go back and they lost to Utah 24-11. South Florida, obviously, this last game 18-16. They lost in overtime to Arkansas 39-36. Lost to Big Bourbon Nation 26-16. Vandy beat them 31-24. Kentucky beat them again 33-14. Mizzou beat them 33-31. Let's not mention 41-17. I don't remember who that was. Let's not mention that one. The loss to Tennessee a season ago when they had it. I'm talking to the son-in-law, Mr. Volunteer, last night about that one, 23-17. They lose to A&M 33-20. They get rocked by LSU 52-35 in November of 23. And then that's it.
So I think it was 1938, by the way.
38.
I'm looking right now. They lost 14-16 in the opener at Florida Field in front of 8,000. They ended up going 4-6-1 that year, losing to Miami, of course, 7-19, October 5th. But here's the weirdest part about the schedule.
Slid that right in there.
So they played Georgia here in Jacksonville that year at Fairfield Stadium, but they also came back in November and played Auburn in Jacksonville as well.
I did not know
So they
that.
played like multiple games in Jacksonville, one in Tampa, and the rest in Gainesville. Very odd.
I think because Jacksonville's stadium was probably held more than.
Probably. And the
one in
series
Gainesville.
the series with the cocktail party began here in 33. And so it's not a shock, I guess, that's crazy they had more than one, because Florida's oldest rivalry, continuous rivalry before it was busted up, was Auburn. It was War Eagle. And so they played both of them here.
They won against Auburn that year 9-7 in Jacksonville. Lost to Georgia 6-19 in Jacksonville. Damn, y'all got whooped by Boston College that year, 33-0. Jeez.
It is a different world.
Wow.
JJ's like taunting you from from a century
100
ago.
years ago.
Got me in history class right now.
Go Canes!
All right.
Were you even a swamp back then?
No.
It's
we
just
weren't.
called Florida Field.
We were kind of
A reservoir.
like we you know how they created the Everglades?
Take my shots.
Well, you are taking your shots. You may as well, man.
You know how they created the Everglades? We had to create the swamp.
Because John Gruden's going to be here soon enough, and then it's,
That was scary.
I'm scared of that. I'm more scared of John Gruden than Eli Drinkowitz. You better believe that.
Yeah. A Spider Y2 banana. You got to deal with that coming up. All right, let's say hello to one of our coaches, Duff. Mark Duffner will jump in with us. We're going to talk. He was with the Bengals last year, so let's get into it. Jacksonville and Cincinnati, week 2, hoping this team goes to 2-0.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford.
4th down and 11. Game on the line.
11 guys line up, but only one will end up the Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
And there he goes.
On 1010XL.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
The Miami Hurricanes easily took down in-state foe Bethune-Cookman on Saturday, 45-3. Jacksonville's own Carson Beck now has 472 yards with 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions this season. Next up for the Canes, a huge one against Red Hot USF at home. The Hurricane Report's brought to you by Performance Painting.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family-owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
He caught the game winner from Danny Warfel and never looked back. Former Gator Chris Doring joins Dan and Jeff on The Drill Tuesday mornings at 7:20 on 1010XL. Protected by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
The Money Pages brings you the Red Zone featured player of the week. Number 1, Jaguars running back Travis Etienne Jr. Travis played college ball for the Clemson Tigers and was drafted by the Jags in the first round in 2021. Pick up this week's Jags game program with a commemorative ticket of Travis Etienne inside. Download the Money Pages app for weekly specials. Money Pages, official sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
Jacksonville is football season, and Duck Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Keep an eye out for our custom Jaguar wrap plumbing vans rolling around town. They're hard to miss and always ready for the next play at your home or business. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, trust Duck Duck Rooter to keep you in the game. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
30 years strong in Jack's Beach. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn is celebrating with the largest firearms sale this month. Save big with no sales tax on firearms during the Second Amendment sales tax holiday. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach. 30 years of trust, savings, and service.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Jaguars linebacker Foye Oluokun was named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week following his performance in the Jaguars season opener against the Carolina Panthers. Right now, 82 degrees at 1 o'clock, time in 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Young looks, fires downfield, and that ball's tipped and intercepted. It was tipped into the air and a diving interception by Foye Oluokun, and the Jags take over at the 35-yard line of Carolina.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Play-by-play voice, Frank Franzi right there with the Foye Oluokun interception. Little did Frank know that he was announcing that beautiful play, soon to be named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Foye, pass breakup, forced fumble, interception, 10 tackles. You got to love it on that side of the ball. I know who really does love it. Linebackers coached by heart, head coach, coordinator, position coach Mark Duffner joins us now. Coach, welcome in. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and I do love it. I thought Foye played his back end off and was a real factor in the game, so very happy for him.
It really is awesome, and I think, Coach, you've done a lot of football talk in your life, and all of Duval was so excited to see something good start the season off. What did you think of the 1-0 performance, just kind of generally speaking?
I thought it was outstanding, really, when you consider all the challenges that they had, new staff, new players, an opponent that, they had to obviously play against and win against. I thought they did a heck of a job across the board. The offense came out, answered the bell, ran the ball effectively, protected the quarterback well. Defense comes out, gets 3 takeaways, gets 2 fourth down stops. And they got new players come in and make plays, whether it's Jordan Lewis, whether it's safety. Across the board, it was, I think, an outstanding afternoon.
Now, Coach, did they do anything different schematically, defensively? Because this is the first time I've seen a Jaguar team just be on the prowl. They were attack-style defense that I hadn't seen before in a long time here.
I thought Anthony put together a really good plan. The defense, those guys played hard for him and for each other. There was great pursuit. I think there was 3 explosive plays in the game. There was a pass, to the wide receiver, McMillan. There was a quarterback scramble. They had a couple scramble situations against them, and then Chuba had a run against them. But when you have only 3 explosives in the game, your assignment's sound. There were no misfits in the run game. There were no breakdowns in terms of big plays happening in the pass game. So, and he was aggressive, too. He came off the edge. He came up inside in terms of pressure. The quarterback, as the game wore on, Young was looking at the rush, and he felt the rush. And so I think an aggressive game plan is what came forth. The players, I think, put it into motion on the field and then into production. When you only give up 10 points and you get 3 takeaways, it's a pretty good afternoon for you.
So, Mark, I love what they did philosophically in this game, from the early 4th down conversion to the idea of throwing to the tight end, to the idea of it's 3rd and 4 and we got LaQuinn Allen in there and they're running the ball and they get the first down. That kind of philosophical change, that works on players' psyches, correct? That kind of elevates everyone.
Big time. And as you mentioned just a minute ago, the very first drive of the game, they come out in 4th and 1, ball on their own 37-yard line, and he runs it and gets it. And what do they continue to do? They use cadence to pull Carolina off sides in the first drive. They have shifts in motion. They use tempo. He opened it all up.
Right.
And the players felt that. And then what else happened late in the game? Or not late in the game, but in the first half, they go 90. They're backed up. They go 91 yards. Now, ETN, a big run.
That's 70, right?
Yeah, 70.
Right,
but they go 91 yards. They ran it every single snap.
Right.
All right. And then, of course, they had a great reverse, to
Brian Thomas.
That's right, Brian Thomas, a great call there. So my point is that made a statement, and if the offense doesn't, thrive on what he was calling, especially that old line, and Circe will tell you that. Where he was calling the number, we're going to run the sucker. At the end of the game, that 4 minute, they ran the ball down the field and then kicked a field goal at the end.
Yeah.
So the statement was not words; it was actions on the field.
So, Coach, that offensive line, I want to piggyback off the offensive line. That's probably the best I've seen this offensive line play in like 2 years. They were aggressive. They got after it. They were physical. They were moving bodies. They were washing defenders down. They were down blocking, trapping, and all that kind of stuff. That I know as offensive lineman, that's a mindset. But it says something to your offensive line when you give them those opportunities to be aggressive.
Without a doubt. They had talked about physicality. We're going to be a physical team. We're going to run the ball. Well, they did it. And, you had mentioned earlier in the year here, the gap runs. They ran the traps. They ran the one-back power. They ran counter. So they had good mix of play selection in the run game to feature their rushing attack. So, I mean, if physicality was evident, you felt the run game. I mean, I felt it, just sitting there in the press box watching it. And when it's like that, boy, you got to be excited.
It was orchestral, okay? It was like a conductor just going ahead and getting everybody involved. We're talking with Mark Duffner. We're going to have him regularly along with Gerald Ingram, both of our guys, both sides of the ball. We'll have them rotate weekly on XL Primetime, and then we'll go in and we'll do a live stream show, which will come up at 2 o'clock on your social channels. So we'll have both Gerald Ingram and Mark Duffner with us for both sides of the ball. Looking forward to that. So I love what Liam Cohen said as well, Coach, just to kind of piggyback off what you said. He said toughness and physicality is going to be in our DNA. And honestly, the demand of that changes everything in my mind from what was going on here before.
Yeah, I can't comment on the past because I didn't see it really, but you got to like, as a fan, you've got to like what they put on the field across the board. I mean, special teams even. I mean, the punter was over 55 yards. We've become accustomed to that. 4 field goals made, onside kick recovered. I mean, every phase of the game, the penalties were, maybe a little bit too much. Obviously, that we don't want that, but other than that, a pretty damn clean game. And, we were all concerned in training camp about, some of the alignment, assignment, adjustment. Well, you didn't see guys slapping their hands or hands up, or communication issues were not there. They were able to execute with tempo. They were, like I said, they were able to use that as an advantage for themselves and really have I think a pretty darn productive game for them. So, I mean, shoot, I'm excited about it right now. Do we have a lot of work to do? Sure we do. But first start, checked a lot of good boxes, I believe.
So, Coach, next week we got the Bengals. You and I know, being in this league, that when you go on the road, whatever you did at home, you ask for a little bit more. The intensity ramps up, the preparation ramps up, all that stuff. I hope this team is ready for what's coming before them this week with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, I do too, but I think the preparation this week, getting ready for the Bengals with a 1-0 win like they had, is going to make that preparation even better. Now, they're going to get Bengals' best shot. I can promise you that. And the reason why, I know that over there in Cincinnati, they don't feel like they met their standard in this opening game against Cleveland offensively, and they played better in the second half on defense, but I think they feel like they left a lot out on that field, and they're going to be certainly determined to make up for that, no matter who they're playing. Just happens to be the Jags this week.
That defense of the Bengals, obviously. Can this team win a up and down the field, let's try and outscore them game against the Bengals?
Well, there's some newness there on the defense there. Al Golden is the new coordinator, did a good job in this last game against Cleveland. They stopped Cleveland's run game. They held them to about 2 yards a carry, and that's an effective job as far as that's concerned. But they struggled in the first half, came back in the second half, in particular the last 5 drives. I watched those. It was an interception, it was a punt, it was a stop on downs, it was another interception to seal the win. Production when they had to have it late in the game. So this defense will give them. Al will be good in terms of what he's going to show our quarterback. He'll mix it up in terms of pressure and coverage, and be well thought out. And then this defense is going to play hard. They have something to prove. We didn't play as well on defense last year, and so they're excited about being better and being more productive.
Coach Duffner was with the Cincinnati Bengals a year ago, so you know what both sides of that ball look like. So let's get into a little bit more, because Joe Burrow struggled. Cincinnati offensively struggled in the game against Cleveland. What did they do defensively that Jacksonville might be able to do? All right, you guys jump in. We got Coach Mark Duffner with us, 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You want to talk Jaguar ball, do it with one of our coaches on a Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday.
XL Primetime, driven by Big Number 1 Duval Ford, elite service for elite companies.
4th and goal at the 1. They set up in the eye.
When you add up the moments and break down the best,
It's a hostile environment.
you're left with a performance-painting, high-performance play of the game
Up in the air, it is caught!
on 1010XL.
Joe C for Hard Rock Bet football season is here. You've been waiting a long time, and now you can get in on the action. The NFL season underway. College football already a couple of weeks in. Log on to hardrock.bet. A $5 winning bet. You'll score an extra $150 in bonus bets. That's a winning bet and a boosted bankroll. That's how you kick off the season. All at Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
There's a storm brewing in Coral Gables. Find out which way the wind is blowing.
I'm JJ LaSalva. When hurricane news blows, you'll hear about it on the Performance Painting Hurricane Report.
On 1010XL.
Jacksonville, archery season is here, and nobody does archery like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. Come test shoot the newest bows from Matthews, Hoyt, Raven, and all the top brands. And starting this month, take advantage of Florida's sales tax holiday on all Second Amendment related items, running now through the end of the year. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit cssfireplaces.com.
It's ET here, and did you know that slow speed accidents can still cause serious injuries? Ignoring minor pain today can mean big problems tomorrow. Don't wait. Call my guys at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center, the auto accident experts.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Foye Oluokun was a force on defense for Jacksonville. The 6'2 linebacker recorded 10 tackles and forced a fumble to go along with an interception in what was a spectacular day on his part. He was the fence on defense, and he's your Superior Fence and Rails Defensive Player of the Game.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a reverse. This is going to be Brian Thomas Jr. to the 5. Brian Thomas Jr. into the end zone. He took a reverse handoff from Trevor Lawrence, and he waltzed into the end zone. A 9-yard touchdown. Jacksonville has extended the lead. How good is that?
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Frank Franzi on the call. That cut from the game that you started your season off 1-0 as BTJ. Brian Thomas Jr. getting in the end zone as Coach Duffner, who's with us right now, said that we're all run plays on that game, on that drive, and ETN from inside your 10 to almost inside the red zone. It was just a thing of beauty. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about it.
And the thing is, too, in his running in that game, I think I heard he was like the second leading rusher in the league right now, but he had a lot of good cutback runs. I mean, he demonstrated better vision, and the holes were there by that offensive line. So you got to be excited about his production in the game.
Yeah, Coach, you know what? Just my history of playing ball, I understood that when you went on the road that the run game was essential. You had to run the football because not only did you control the line of scrimmage, you moved the change, you took time of possession, and you took the crowd out of the game.
Leon, you're dead on. And the other thing you're doing, you're going to keep that offense off the field.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that our best defense is going to be a ball control offense, just what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the Jags right now are primed to do that. Now, as I mentioned, the Bengals defense stopped the run game pretty effectively in their first game. That was a goal for them, and I think they met that. But this will be a better challenge for both sides of the ball in terms of, again, can they stop our run game and can we run it and take the crowd out and move the chains?
Mark, is there anything that gives Joe Burrow fits more than anything else? I mean, he's so good at what he does. Does he have any, I don't know if flaw is the right word, does he have any issue of certain thing that you wouldn't really understand unless you're in the weeds there?
Well, he has such a high standard for himself in terms of play. He doesn't try to make every play a touchdown, but he has a high standard in terms of where he thinks his game should be. And I have a sense that he felt like it wasn't quite that way this week against Cleveland. So I know that for a fact that his preparation is always excellent, and I mean that sincerely, but he'll turn it up even another notch. And that he knows that, hey, he's capable of a better play, that the offense is capable of a better play. They felt like they kind of left the team down a little bit that way, I'm sure, in terms of I know how those players are. So that what gives him fits right now is meeting that standard and exceeding that standard.
Right.
And that'll be his goal.
So listen to Coach Cohen. This is what he's talking about on Burrow's ability to, handle the blitz.
He can get it out. You got to take some of the air out of the coverage. It's hard to give him a ton of space, but it's feast or famine. You go up and press him. You get too much on him, who knows what it could be. And it's just one of those combinations. He's a smart player. He knows how to get to zero audibles and checks and understands the game. So it's going to be a little bit of a chess match.
So explain that.
Well, I can tell you this. Burrow's study of our defense and the opponent's defense, he can recognize blitz well. And that's going to be Anthony's challenge to try to disguise it as best possible because when he feels blitz, he can make you pay in terms of where he gets the ball to, who he gets it to, and where he gets it to. Or if he checks out to another, maybe even a run against it. So my point is that'll be the challenge for us in terms of disguising our blitz. But then when we call it, we got to get home. We got to have the who's make those plays. They got to win the one-on-ones. Every time they're not going to always be no touches as far as the pressure is concerned. But Burrow's preparation and awareness is at the highest. I'm serious.
So let's just stay on the who's because Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen are the who's you're referring to. Yeah. And they need to get home. They harassed Bryce Young, but they didn't get him on the ground.
Yeah, the Bryce Young felt them. I can tell you that as the game went on, and Joe's going to have to feel our guys too. And what I did like in particular, again, in terms of Anthony's design of pressure, involved a lot of people. Like we mentioned earlier, he was coming off the edge with corner blitz. He was bringing the safety on occasion. He brought the inside linebacker up inside, and so trying to put pressure on the quarterback in terms of all levels, perimeter, inside pressure, all that's going to be a big factor. And again, but trying not to let him feel it, let him see it as much. If we can hit him and he does know it's coming, that'll be a big plus.
I do feel like, though, he's a guy, and check me if I'm wrong, he's a guy that pressure's not going to bother him. Sacks are going to bother him. Like, you got to get home with this guy.
Oh, you got to. Yeah, no. He's not. Yeah, he's tougher than nails.
Yeah.
I think, as I've told you before, I call him Butkus. I mean, he'll be bring it. He's very, very confident as far as that's concerned. Pressure is concerned. But yeah, no loss of yards, sacks, things of that nature will be something he doesn't want to have. He doesn't want to give anything away. He wants to take everything.
Right.
Now, Coach, how important? And you coach this guy, Trey Hendrickson. How important is it that Walker Little keeps him neutralized in this game?
Critical. I mean, and again, I know how Trey is right now. He's studying everything that Walker Little does, including brush his teeth, and so he'll know everything as far as that's concerned. But not only Trey. I mean, they had some pretty good pressure components from Stewart, the rookie who's got great length. Joseph Osai will be an edge guy. Miles Murphy. They've got, similar to what we've got here, 4 guys that can affect the quarterback out on the edge, led by Hendrickson. But that'll be a matchup we clearly want to watch. And And I don't know how much Al will move him around. I think he'll probably keep him right there against Walker. We'll see.
Because that's the reason why the running game is so essential, because I hated silent count, especially on the road. Because the silent count, a lot of people understand this as a tackle. You're already back. You got to look at your head's got to be on the butt of the center, and you've got to be able to look at the ball and look at your opponent at the same time and be on task as far as getting out your stance.
Leon, that what you just told the fans here and the listeners is outstanding, because that is a critical component and hard in terms of the opponent's offense, in terms when they go to a away game. And that gives, like I said, that defense just another potential step on the protection end of things. So very, very great point that you just made aware to the listeners.
We're talking with Mark Duffner. He is one of our coaches that we'll have regularly on XL Primetime and on both sides of the ball. He and Gerald Ingram will do a little stream show coming up after we get off the air, so you can head to any of our social channels, both sides of the ball with Duff and Coach Ingram. So weaknesses that you think this team might be able to exploit, and you can come from the defensive side where you cut your teeth, or the other side. Where do you think they can gain the upper hand?
Well, I think, one of the problems that we've had in the past in Cincinnati on the offensive side has been protecting Joe.
Mm-hmm.
People have had the issue to sack him or had ability to affect him a little bit as far as that's concerned. So pass protection will be a consideration for sure. They want to get the running game off the board, as far as that's concerned. In the Cleveland game, they were balanced, 23 runs, 23 passes. So they made a commitment to that. In fact, in the save penalty on the first drive, they were about, I'm going to say, 9 runs to 5 passes on the very first drive, the first 15. Real commitment early on to run the ball. So trying to get that running game, if we can get them off track with the defense here, stop that running game and force them to pass, and then don't get mesmerized by the stars out there. I mean, Chase is a great player. Higgins is a great player. Yosevich, that third receiver, will come in there. Tight ends are good. They're using Brown not only as a rusher, but Chase Brown as a receiver too. So, don't lose your mind in terms of where your eyes need to be. Play sound again as they did in the first game. Good eyes, good fundamentals. Tackle well. Get the ball off them. That'll be the recipe for success.
That's what Leon was saying yesterday. Like, you can't make these guys out to be more than they are. I mean, they're very good.
Oh, they're good.
But you can't do that or you've already lost.
Well, yeah, and all they got to do is look at the Cleveland game. I mean, the Cleveland's defense kept them in check, and they got a good defense. Schwartz does a good job there as a defensive coordinator. But, they were able to, like I said, eliminate explosives from Cincinnati as far as run and pass. And so that's, again, just playing good, sound football. Do your job. Much like our quarterback did his job in the game against Panthers. He did his job to enable the team to win. That's what we got to do across the board.
Where do you think they can, offensively, Trevor and company, gain an advantage against that Bengals defense? You were part of that Bengals defensive staff. They made the change, but how do you think how will they try and start that game out?
I hope that they do what they did in this game against the Panthers. I hope they use tempo. I hope they use shifts and motions. Use the pre-snap weapons that they can to try to, put some, what I want to say, lack of trust in what the Bengals' plan is. And if they can distract them a little bit with that, that'll help. If they can disrupt their communication, that'll help. I was pleased to see how well Cincinnati's defense was against the run. We need to challenge that. Again, and that'll be a factor for us as far as our offense going against their run game. And then I think that, like I said, just trying to do the best they possibly can at just following what your job is. I think don't get distracted. Try to distract them.
Yeah. No, I think when I look at this, I also look at Trevor and his ability to stay within the system. And I thought he did a really good job of that in this game. And I think it's what they're doing, what Liam Cohen is doing, that staff is doing. They're also giving him easier throws. And I think they're taking advantage, like the skinny throws, too, because now it looks like he has more confidence with those throws, too, Mark.
Yeah, I think he got into, I definitely saw confidence, and I think he got into a little bit of a rhythm, too. And they allowed him to do that. I mean, they had, as you look back in play distribution, I think they had 4 screens in the game, which was great. They had a number of bootlegs to get him out in the flank and make the throw, simple and clear and clean for him. I think really they only took one shot, and it was the opening shot of the game to Brian Thomas, I think. But I think letting him play within the scheme and within the game plan. He doesn't have to win the game on every snap. Just move the chains. And I think that's what he got into a rhythm of doing. A couple of times I thought he forced the ball in there, but a couple of times he got hot and threw it good too. So consistency will be a factor for everybody in this game, but it is always for the quarterback.
I also don't think I hear a lot of people saying that he made a bad play on the interception. That was a DB coming off coverage and making an unreal play. That ball was right there. Yeah, I keep hearing people say, "Oh, you got to give it a little more air." No, it was right there. The guy made a great play.
I'm full of hot air when I say that.
And by the way, that was their best defensive player in the back end. I mean, he made a terrific play. I thought the ball was caught. It was to Hunter.
Right. I thought it was a perfect throw.
I thought it was a perfect throw, and I thought we were going to be doing this.
Yeah,
it was going to be a touchdown.
I agree.
Kudos to the defensive back. He's their best secondary. J.C. Horn. It was the guy that made the play, and he went up and got it. And we've got to go up and make those plays on both offense, defense.
I say that all the time. I don't mind interceptions because
30 yards down
when
the
you're
field,
right. Also, when it's the right throw in the right situation, it's the fumbles that's the problem. And I also think he protected the ball.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely did, and that's going to be a key also. Ball security across the board. I mean, all these are fundamentals that our team's going to have to execute no matter who they're against. Protect that ball.
Right, and as you on the defensive side of the ball when you were with the Bengals, well, really outside of Jacksonville, because Coach Duffner spent a long time here in Jacksonville with 3 different head coaches as a linebackers coach. But the other thing is that did Trevor look different to you in terms of being decisive with his footwork and accuracy? Because those were the bugaboos as far as what defenses would try and take advantage of.
I thought for most of the game he looked pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the third quarter our offense as a group was just a little bit off.
Okay.
Compared to what they were doing throughout, and he was part of that too. I mean, the offense will always go kind of as your quarterback does, but I thought I saw positive play by him, and the other thing I want to mention is he tucked it and ran 3 times, and maybe 4 if you counted on a penalty, and that was productive too. Now, when you do that, and he's got the capability to do that, that loosens up your defense, and so he did that. He wasn't holding on to it if he didn't have it.
Right.
He went through his progression and he tucked it and made positive yardage. That's going to be a big plus as we move forward. So another plus for him.
Yeah, I want to stay on that theme because I think that's another marked difference in his game. We'll do that coming up. We're hanging out with Mark Duffner. He and Coach Gerald Ingram will do both sides of the ball as we get ready for our podcast launch with these 2 cats coming up on our social stream at 2 o'clock.
XL Primetime. Driven by Duval Ford. It's a clash of the big cats, spots, and stripes. Who rules the jungle? Find out Sunday at 1. Jaguars, Bengals on the home of the Jaguars, 1010 XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Football is back, and so is Prize Picks. And you know what that means. It's time to play and win with America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Think CeeDee Lamb will have more or less than 80.5 receiving yards against the Giants? Well, Justin Herbert have more or less than 240.5 passing yards against the Raiders. It's just that simple. But here's the best part. Prize Picks offers an injury insurance reboot. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks invented Flex Play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. And all Prize Picks withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code 1010XL and get $50 instantly when you play 5. That's code 1010XL to get $50 instantly when you play 5. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Tired of plumbers trying to sell you instead of help you? At Superior Plumbing and Pipeline, we do things differently. We hire real plumbers, not salesmen, and we never pay commission. That means no upselling, no pressure, and no unnecessary repairs. Just honest, expert work at a fair price. So the next time you need a plumber you can trust, make the superior choice and call Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, where quality comes first and honesty is standard. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. No commissions, just solutions. Learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Yo, it's your main man, E to the T here. And have you been to Clay County lately? It's the perfect escape and just a short drive away. Hiking, paddling, fishing, and plenty more ways to enjoy the outdoors. This month, you can take on the Whistling Death 5 and 10K. Dig into bold flavors at the annual Soul Food Festival and enjoy fall festivals all across the county. Make the call this weekend and enjoy great times and make wonderful new memories, all in our area. Check out exploreclay.com to plan your weekend adventure. That's exploreclay.com.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hacker here, and you guys know I always tell you the benefits of Awaken 180 weight loss. Well, I had another one last week. I went down to Disney for Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party, right? And I actually dressed up in a costume along with my wife and my son. Now, 100 pounds ago, I would not have ever dreamed of dressing up in a costume nor getting my picture taken because I didn't want to get my picture taken. I didn't want it plastered all over the internet with the way I look. But thanks to Awaken 180 and losing over 100 pounds, you get more confidence. You can wear costumes now. You can be part of the family fun. It's just another benefit that Awaken 180 provides. It's a healthy lifestyle. I'm in the maintenance program now. It's absolutely awesome. Again, I cannot possibly recommend Awaken 180 enough. Losing weight has changed my life. If it's time to change your life, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. If I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
First half champion Jumbo Shrimp are home at newly renovated VyStar Ballpark this week. Tonight is We're at Home Wednesday, presented by Ambetter Health and Renewal by Anderson. Tomorrow is CSX First Responders Day on Coors Light Thirsty Thursday. Then it's Hispanic Heritage Night with Friday fireworks. Saturday, the first 2,000 fans to the main gate get an umbrella courtesy of VyStar and Roland Reach Plumbing. JackShrimp.com for tickets.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Young drops, look, he's going to have to throw it in toward the end zone. That's incomplete. He threw it out of the back of the end zone. That's an incomplete pass, and the ball's going to go over on down. What work by that Jaguars defense.
This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Happy PvP Frank Franch. Happy when they go into the bank and they exit a winner, 1-0 start for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Frank Franch on the call as they close the game out against the Carolina Panthers. We get ready for the Cincinnati Bengals on the road. You will hear all of it right here on the Superstation. We got one more seg with one of our coaches, Mark Duffner. He and Gerald Ingram. Every week you'll get one of our guys talking ball passionately about the team you care about most. Listen to these numbers that I will throw at you about from Joey Burrow in a second. But, Coach, get back to the idea that Trevor on his feet and on the move. We can include the footwork in the conversation. That's changed. But if you can get him to be aggressive as a runner and a smart runner, that's a whole new facet.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to open up everything for the offense and put nightmares to the defense.
Yeah.
Right now, Al Golden's looking at that, and he's making sure he scramble-proofs his rush games and his pressures, because he's demonstrated, Trevor has, the ability to make you miss and move the chains as a runner. So, again, kudos to him for that. That's really going to help the offense.
Coach, I hope this team understands it's a business trip, because the Bengals may not be a tier 1 team as far as beating the Buffalo Bills, the Ravens, or the Chiefs, but you got to consider them still elite as long as Joey Burrow's back there. Do you not?
Absolutely. And let me tell you, Cincinnati considers themselves, they want to get back into the playoffs. They want to win the world championship. So they're on a mission right now. Starting the season 1-0, no matter how they did it last week against Cleveland, was a major step for them. We have struggled, or Cincinnati struggled in the past in that first ball game. So they kind of got that monkey off their back. That was a major weight, I think, that they had all through the preseason. Now that's gone. Now they got a little chip on their shoulder coming in, because, as I said, I don't know that they felt they played as good as they think they can. And so that's going to be what we're going to have to challenge or face in the challenge too.
You know, it's funny, Mark, we're all talking about this game, and I think it's only natural to say, look, if you lose, don't panic. The process looks right. But then on the other side is, if you win, I mean, you have literally announced to the NFL that you're here.
Yeah, no,
and it's not what it used to be.
No, they win this game coming up right now. That's a kind of a serve notice. We're on our way, and now there's a lot of ball to be played right now. We're just kind of warming up, if you will. But every opportunity that you have is critical. And then when you start, looking at it down the road, you don't want to look too far down the road. You want to look a little bit what we have in front of us right now. But these early games count when you start to determine where you ultimately want to end up.
Yeah, half dozen teams last year that didn't make the postseason started out 1-0. So that's what you're trying to do. All right, off the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, Bush Drive. Rich, Coach, with so much attention being held by the receivers on both teams, do you see this possibly being a game that features the tight ends and running backs? And if so, who has the advantage?
Well, I'll tell you, the tight ends that the Bengals have are pretty impressive. They're good receivers. Mike Gesicki, Noah Fant. I mean, those two guys in particular are really good weapons in terms of catching the football. And I think, plus, I like the way our tight ends played. Hunter Long scored a touchdown. Strange had five good catches, and he blocked his back end off. I mean, those outside backers, Trey and the rest of them there at Cincinnati, the defensive ends, they're going to know about that tight end, Strange, in terms of the way he blocks. So I don't know. I think there's comparable looks in the tight ends in both, and I think the receiver, both of them in terms of the running backs. Brown's a good receiver that they've got, and I like what I see out of Etienne and Tootin in terms of receivers too. So I think it's pretty even.
All right, before you go, we got to read this, and then we'll turn you loose. Coach Duffner, I scored my first touchdown ever in 1981 versus Annandale High School. I went to Mount Vernon High, Northern Virginia's best. So that's against your old squad, right?
Yeah, that's unbelievable that somebody reached out with that. I would appreciate that very much. We had a great program there.
You were at Annandale.
Yeah, and number of state championships there. And Mount Vernon had won a couple state championships. So that's a great reach out. I appreciate it very much.
I love it. Love it. All right, Coach, we enjoy it. Your visit every other week, and then we'll get our Both Sides of the Ball podcast cranked up after our show comes to a conclusion.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Frank Frangie for Lee & Kate's Glass. Still family-owned and in business for 100 years. When they say you're going to see a big difference, that's for everything. Custom showers and spas, tabletops, mirrors, even replacing foggy windows, all at a more affordable price. And with your satisfaction absolutely guaranteed, Lee & Kate's Glass is your best choice. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
There's a new game changer in downtown Jacksonville, and it's not the two-way star you might be thinking of. It's Pour Tap Room Jacksonville at Laura and Forsyth. 2 floors, 80 self-pour taps of craft beer, wine and cocktails, and a full liquor bar. Pour Tap Room has all your game day favorites. Wings, burgers, and more. You can even grab a slice or a pie next door at Pizza Dynamo, and they'll bring it right to your table. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville, a beer festival every day.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big...
Whoa! See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, GarageDoor911.com.
PRI Productions is the official game day production partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, I'm Randy Goodwin, president and owner of PRI Productions. Chances are, if you've been in Jacksonville over the last 30 years, you've seen our work, from corporate and social events to concert production and much more. We have the equipment and expertise to make your next event memorable. So call the experts at the Jaguars call. PRI Productions, bringing your ideas to life.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
Our man is in the house. We go from Coach Duffner to Gio Bari Orthopedics, fellowship trained under the renowned Dr. James Andrews. We talk sports injuries with our man. Gio, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. You look outstanding, refreshed, ready to go, ready to save lives. If you guys have a sports injury question, you can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. We try and throw a few Gio's way, and then if we can work one of y'all's in, we will definitely do it. I wanted to ask you, we may see Mac Jones, ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday. Okay? We may see Mac Jones because Brock Purdy has a toe injury and a shoulder injury. And so who the heck knows? But let's at least start there. George Kittle, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey. Looks like a little bit of a mass unit out in San Fran.
Yeah, and then I don't think they mentioned what the toe injury was or how he hurt it.
They didn't give us a whole lot of detail.
Look, you could have turf toe, but I feel like it's a little too early in the season to get that. Usually that's repetitive wear and tear on that toe. You still have it. Or you get a 300-pound lineman that steps on it.
Right. That's always possible.
It can cause some pain. And then it was his, I think, non-throwing shoulder.
Non-throwing shoulder.
And he fell right on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that sounds like an AC joint, either that or a labrum, but most likely a grade 1 AC joint if they're not talking about him being out because of it. So that's what I would say it is.
Okay. George Kittle, hamstring, major. We're talking 3. They put him on injury reserve.
Right. 4 weeks. Yeah.
Give people an idea of what that means.
So your hamstring, the origin, where it attaches, the origin is your, people say your butt bone, your sitting bone, right? That's called your ischial tuberosity, and that's where it attaches to.
Wow. Goodness gracious.
So when you have a little injury to that, it can cause some pain, and that's the origin because Dak Prescott, that's what he had, right, and had a surgery. But then you have injury to the muscle belly,
right?
And that's what when you say pull the hamstring, okay? But he's out for 4 weeks, so they already know that this is a bad injury on the get-go. He probably walked out, can't walk on it, has black and blue everywhere, right? Massive bruising. I'm sure they got an MRI on it, and then that takes time to get better. I would not be shocked at all if it was longer
than the 4 weeks. And what's that? Say that again. The
ischial tuberosities. I got to sound
smart
somehow.
Does that come with a turbo?
Turbo.
Yeah, he and I helped study with him as a radio doctor. I helped him memorize some of these things.
I was mumbling it to myself before we came on air, so I knew how to say it.
All right, Gators.
So LJ McCray initially was thought to be like a bruised knee. He broke his foot, Gio.
It's not even close.
Not even close.
Right. So that's kind of my diagnosis.
Not even close to the original media diagnosis.
Is that the lower extremity injury?
Broke his foot.
Yeah.
And Billy Napier, in classic Billy Napier fashion, he's going to be out a while.
Yeah.
They did have
we're talking about a broken foot. How long is a while, Gio? Because this cat's a former 5-star recruit.
Yeah.
The guy that he had a really good camp. They were expecting a lot out of him this year. In his first game, he comes back and bang.
So I don't know the exact injury he has, right? Well, I don't know what bone he broke.
Right.
What if he has a Liz Frank?
True,
right?
Then it's a little
Then
longer.
it's a long time. What if he just has a Jones fracture? Then, it's a lot shorter. So
what if he's just got a crick in his foot, as Joe likes to say?
Could be.
I mean, it's
got to operate.
I think the biggest question is if he'll come back before Napier is still there or not. But I don't.
Wow, Gio with a little opinion.
University of South Florida graduate right there.
So I don't know. It just depends.
Away on a few things.
Wow, Gio, that was the old USF grad coming out.
That was a drive-by
from
right
the top ring rope right there.
Listen, I don't blame you.
That was no drive-by. That was him getting up on that ring rope and just even himself.
Like I told Gio and Brett Morgan from Fever Chevy, you guys are doing your part to get everything that we want in this world. And that's Billy out of town. All right, real quick, off the text line. Doc, what can you do for severe sciatica? It brings me to my knees several times a day.
So that's a good question. We get a lot of people with back pain. You have to figure out what the cause of the back pain is. If you have a disc problem, a herniated disc, or arthritis in the back that's pushing on a nerve, then let's talk about therapy, anti-inflammatories, injections into the back, surgery on the back, depends how bad this is. You'd have to get an x-ray, you have to get an MRI. If you're just having pain that kind of goes from the butt to the knee and it stops there, you could try some therapy also. That would be the first line treatment. But if you came to the office with this, you'd get an x-ray. Mm-hmm. Depending on your symptoms, how long you've had the symptoms, if you've had conservative treatment or not, therapy or MRI would be the next step.
All right. Pay attention to that.
You could try also a steroid pack, a Medrol dose pack, which is about 6 days. Which can help some inflammation.
All right, good stuff. Make sure you log on BariOrthopedics.com and you can check them out. Locations all over the city of Jacksonville. We love you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, right now.
Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, my takeaway is that it is Wednesday. It is a business week for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just my history of the NFL. I know that Wednesday is usually their most intense practice. Is ramped up, the intensity, the preparation, the conditioning, the weight room, and all that kind of stuff. You got to. It's a different mindset when you go on the road. It's not the comfort of being at home. You got to play with some intensity. You got to play. It's got to be like you kicking in the door and going to sit at somebody's table and eating their food. That's what it's like.
That's the
mindset. Yeah.
I love it. Kind of like when JJ just flashed the U at Dr. George Barry when he walked out.
He was asking me and Leon how nervous we are for the game.
You stop it, please. Nervous. Come on.
My takeaway is everything that's been built here. And they're 20-20 under Billy Napier.
Everything that's been built here didn't all of a sudden just disappear.
11-14 against the SEC.
Yes, it did.
11-14 against the SEC. Yeah. Everything that's been built here.
You walk past.
It's amazing to me that he would get on that teleconference and say something like that. Everything that's been built here.
Well, he's like, I feel like he's in a delusional world. That he has the answers, he has the rhetoric or the speech rehearsed to tell you how they're going to get to where they want to go. But the trouble is this is 4 years in.
Well, he's also not at Lafayette anymore.
You should already have pulled up, thrown it in park, and shown what you got. Okay, and this is not. This is the destination, pal. This is not a journey. Okay, you've arrived, man. Where are you, and what do you have to show for it? And like I've told you guys, and every other diehard Gator fan out there, you guys have given your souls and a lot out of your wallet to make sure that this guy was given everything he needed to go out and match the mighty in the college football game. In other words, Miami started stroking checks. You guys are getting $3 and $4 million guys down there. We know what Texas and Ohio State and Georgia and all them. Florida was armed with about as much cash as anybody else. And take a look at what he's not been able to do in the transfer portal. He's not been able to pull a lot of guys in. He's gotten a few here or there. He's got the DKs and the Badgers and a handful of these guys to show up, but not enough big-time stars have shown up. And then from a recruiting world, how many times have you read, they just got a 4-star here or 5-star there? So he's got all of his guys.
Joe?
And he hasn't turned them into anything.
Joe, I think that was a sound argument.
Yeah.
You know, this coming from my cousin Vinny, the judge.
Right.
That was a sound, lucid argument.
And
now I'm going to tell you this. He's 13-19 against Power 4 teams.
Yeah. Believe me, I've recited the same numbers. All I thought you were going to say is that was a bunch of bull. Let's hit it.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Lauren Brooks joins us now. Helmets and heels ready to roll.
Such a juxtaposition around here.
Yeah.
At least for the Florida and Jags fans. Miami fans, they're all just euphoric.
Oh, they're sky high right now.
Yeah.
Wait till USF gets a hold of them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Leon's not scared. Did you hear that, Byron Brown?
Yeah.
Alex Kolish?
All right. So anyway, that's the frustration level I think a lot of Gator fans are at.
Well, I think you have a lot of Gator fans, Joe, that wanted Billy Napier gone, and Matt and Leon wanted him gone last year, like right after they lost to Miami, and then definitely the way they lost to Texas A&M. So at this point in time, those fans are like, why didn't y'all listen to us? And then, because I was thinking, wait until the end of the season and then figure out, what happens. And they ended up doing well. So I thought, all right, here we go. And then I watched that game in the swamp, and I did not cry, but I was very upset.
Yeah, the results were not what any Gator fan was looking for. All right,
no, but were you surprised? Was anyone surprised?
I was surprised by an L, shocked by an L. That I will give you.
I mean,
I thought the
in-game coaching, it shouldn't surprise anyone at this point.
That should not. But the torturous result, nah. All right, what's coming up?
It was terrible. I'm just going to tell you right now. We are going to talk all things Jaguars and certainly college football as well. Tom McManus is back.
Yes.
Back from Boston and Boston College.
I'm sure he'll have some stories that he will share with
Absolutely.
y'all. All right, thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Helmets and Heels coming up next.
Hang on, before we go any further, let me just say
the numbers again. All right, I got you.
No.
He's
No,
trying
much
to
worse.
dig a knife in the Gator fans' back.
The jerseys of Byron Brown and Nico Grammatica are now hanging in display in the College Football Hall of Fame because of the upset of Florida.
Is that like just a 1-week deal, or is that?
They're in the hall.
Like, if that's Okay, that's a little much. Okay, they didn't knock off.
Is it?
I don't know. Well, let's make sure we put Tommy Castellanos' jersey in there then, okay? Because that was knocking off.
Well, that's Power 4 and Power 4 crime.
Yeah.
This is, you have no business being on the field against Power 4 crimes.
It's embarrassing. Hey, Billy, another historic piece that you've created in the memories of college football fans. We are done. As Coach Duffner said earlier, he's got an APB out on XLP because we're coach killers right now. We're not trying to be. It's just
we'll celebrate it next Saturday.
Everything that's been built here didn't all of a sudden just disappear. Ball didn't bounce our way on a few things.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford Mobile